Y'all, Drake is super salty over Kendrick's historical Grammy win, and honestly, who can blame him at this point? Drake has been having a hard time for the past couple of months, and he's probably wishing that he had never jumped into the situation between Kendrick and J Cole in the first place, because that's how this situation started. Now, Drake did try to fix the situation, but he went about it the wrong way when he filed a messy lawsuit against his own record label, accusing them of sabotaging him. But what he could have never predicted was that the song was going to win not one, not two, but 5 Grammys in one night, including 2 of the big 3 categories. Drake got clowned hard for this, and it looks like he is trying to get his lick back, because not only did he tease a new song, but it looks like he just might be filing a lawsuit against the Grammys, accusing them of deliberately trying to undermine him by giving Kendrick an undeserved award. Chile, Drake is crashing out big time, and he's going out sad, so let's break this down. J. Cole is probably sitting somewhere, grateful that he checked out of the beef before it blew up into the chaos that's going on right now. The wild part is that the beef was originally between him and Kendrick, because Drake was never a part of the picture. J. Cole hopped on Drake's track first-person shooter and made a bold declaration. He grouped himself, Drake, and Kendrick Lamar together as the big 3 of rap, saying, "Love when they argue the hardest MC. Is it K-Dot, is it Aubrey, or me? We the big 3 like we started a league, but right now I feel like Muhammad Ali." J. Cole meant it as a compliment, but for some reason, Kendrick didn't really take it like that, and he hopped on Metro Boomin's track, Like That, where he said, "If you walk around with that stick, it ain't Andre 3K. Think I won't drop the location? I still got PTSD. Mother F the big 3. Ninja, it's just big me." I'm not gonna lie, that was kind of rude, but the clapback was targeted toward J. Cole and not Drake. J. Cole caught the shade directed his way and responded with a diss aimed at Kendrick on 7-Minute Drill, a track from his surprise project might delete later. But after some reflection, he had a complete change of heart. Not only did he remove the song, but he also backed away from the entire situation, even going as far as publicly apologizing to Kendrick during one of his concerts. Drake, on the other hand, decided to insert himself into the drama. And let's just say, that move is haunting him now. He came out guns blazing, dropping 2 diss tracks, Push-Ups and Tailor Made, where he didn't just take shots at Kendrick, he went for the kill, dragging his name through the mud without an ounce of hesitation. But if Drake thought Kendrick was just going to sit back and let it slide, he seriously miscalculated. Kendrick didn't just respond, he unleashed Euphoria, a 6-minute lyrical massacre that had the internet in a chokehold. He tore into Drake with surgical precision, dragging him for filth and leaving no room for misinterpretation. But just when people thought he might ease up, he cranked up the pressure with 616 in LA, coming back even harder. This time, he didn't just target Drake. He expanded his scope, calling out Drake's entire crew and exposing some behind-the-scenes mess that had people side-eyeing everything. Drake, however, wasn't about to back down. Instead, he took things to an even pettier, more reckless level with Family Matters, and this one, it was deeply personal. He crossed a serious line by dragging Kendrick's fiancée Whitney into the beef, throwing out heavy accusations about their relationship and how Kendrick allegedly put paws on her. And if that wasn't wild enough, he took it a step further by comparing Kendrick and Whitney's relationship to Bobby Brown and Whitney Houston's. Now, that's a serious accusation because, let's be real, when it comes to toxic love stories, Bobby and Whitney are practically the blueprints. He also accused Kendrick of being an absentee father, saying, "On some Bobby-ish, I want to know what Whitney need. All that puppy love was over in y'all late teens. Why you never hold your son and tell him, say cheese? We could have left the kids out of this, don't blame me." As if things weren't already messy, Drake took it to an entirely new level with an even wilder accusation: paternity fraud. He claimed that Kendrick's fiancée, Whitney, hadn't just stepped out on him, but that she had allegedly done so with Kendrick's own manager, Dave Free. And if that wasn't chaotic enough, Drake didn't stop there. He went on to suggest that Whitney had passed off Dave's child as Kendrick's, implying that Kendrick might not even be the real father. At this point, the beef wasn't just about rap anymore, it was personal, and Drake was playing a dangerous game by dragging Kendrick's family into the crossfire. He said, "You a dog and you know it, you just play sweet. Your baby mama captions always screaming, 'Save me.' You did her dirty all your life, you trying to make peace. I heard that one of them little kids might be Dave Free. Don't make it Dave Freeze. Cause if your GM is your BM secret BD, then this is all making plenty effing sense to me. Aight, let that shorty breathe." At this point, Kendrick wasn't holding back anymore. He decided to fight fire with fire and dropped 2 back-to-back diss tracks that shook the entire scene. He wasn't just spitting bars, he was retaliating with a vengeance, making it clear that he wasn't about to let Drake get away with all the personal shots. In the song, Meet the Grams, Kendrick addressed Drake's mom saying, "Sandra, sit down. What I'm about to say is heavy. Now listen. Your son's a sick man with sick thoughts. I think ninjas like him should die. Him and Weinstein should get effed up in a cell for the rest of their life. He hates black women, them with kinks of a nympho fetish, grew facial hair because he understood being a beard just fit him better. He got offenders on Hovio that he keep on a monthly allowance. A child should never be compromised and he keeping his child around them. And we gotta raise our daughters knowing there's predators like him lurking. The real chaos hit when Kendrick dropped Not Like Us, a track that sent shockwaves through the rap game. In it, Kendrick exposed Drake in a way that no one saw coming. He called him a PDF file and didn't hold back, even throwing in a few choice words like calling him the B word. But it didn't stop there. Kendrick went on to claim that Drake's OVO label was allegedly filled with PDF files, further dragging him through the mud. The track absolutely blew up, dominating the charts and peaking at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100, quickly becoming the song of the summer. For Drake, it must have been beyond embarrassing to watch the world turn against him, seeing fans everywhere doing the Crip Walk while taunting him with the PDF file label. His reputation took a massive hit, and let's just say he crashed out big time. And while this chaos was going on, J. Cole, who started this whole mess, was spotted chilling at the beach. Again, he was probably thankful that he got out of the beef before it got messy because it was downright chaotic. It got worse when Kendrick was announced as the headliner of the 2025 Super Bowl, and Drake crashed out big time. He filed lawsuits against everybody and anybody, claiming that the industry was ganging up against him. In his filing, Drake went all in, accusing UMG and Spotify of conspiring behind the scenes to manipulate streaming numbers, all to give Kendrick's diss track Not Like Us an unfair boost. He claimed that both companies had worked together to inflate the popularity of the track, making it seem like a bigger hit than it actually was. Drake wasn't just throwing shade. He was alleging a full-blown industry setup, suggesting that his rival's success was being artificially propped up. At this point, the entire industry seemed to turn on Drake. People were dragging him left and right, with many arguing that his decision to sue UMG and Spotify over Not Like Us was proof that Kendrick's diss hit too close to home. Critics started claiming that Drake's legal battle was a desperate attempt to save face after losing a rap battle, and it only reinforced Kendrick's point when he called Drake a colonizer.
The person who has the real defamation case in this situation is Kendrick's woman. Because Drake not only said Kendrick was beating on her, he said that Dave Free, Kendrick's business partner and friend, was the real father to one of Kendrick's kids. So if you're going to accuse somebody of defamation, you must first make sure you too aren't guilty of defamation, okay? Drake saying that Kendrick defamed him is indeed the pot calling the kettle beige, but that's not even why I'm giving him Donkey of the Day, okay? I'm giving him Donkey of the Day because Drake is proving without a shadow of a doubt that he simply doesn't understand culture.
Now, the entire industry was piling on Drake, slapping him with the Karen label, calling him out for his behavior, but that was just the tip of the iceberg because his legal move against UMG was starting to look like a much bigger issue. For years, UMG had been in Drake's corner, allegedly even helping to bury some seriously troubling allegations that could have ruined his career. The relationship between Drake and the label ran deep, and it wasn't just about music. Back in 2021, UMG reportedly gave Drake a deal worth a staggering $500 million, something that was almost unheard of in the world of hip-hop. This wasn't just a contract, it was a statement that Drake had reached a level of influence that few others could touch. To make matters even more intense, UMG's CEO, Lucian Grange, had publicly said that Drake could get any amount of money he asked for. The label practically treated him like royalty. But now, with Drake suing them, it raised serious questions about the future of their relationship. Is the loyalty between Drake and UMG truly unbreakable? Or is this legal drama about to unravel something much bigger?
On Stay Schemin', Drake says, "Tell Lucian I said f it, I'm tearing holes in my budget."
Tell Lucian I said fuck it, I'm tearing holes in my budget.
Did Drake call you up after that and say, "Hey, I need more money for my project"?
If ever Drake or whenever Drake calls up and says he needs more money for his project, I give it to him.
And here's where things really take a turn. You remember that lawsuit producer Lil Rod filed against Diddy back in February, right? Well, what you might not know is that the lawsuit originally named Lucian Grange and UMG as co-defendants. In the filing, Lil Rod made some serious allegations, claiming that Lucian not only financed but also allegedly enabled Diddy's alleged criminal activities. The fact that Drake, UMG's golden boy, is now suing them, coupled with this ongoing lawsuit, raises even more eyebrows. It's starting to look like the foundation of Drake's relationship with UMG may have some cracks, and the legal chaos surrounding the label could have a much broader impact impact on the industry as a whole. Lil Rod's lawsuit stated, Mr. Jones recalls seeing defendant Grange visiting Mr. Combs' home in Miami, Florida, and Los Angeles, California. According to Mr. Jones, whenever defendant Grange visited Mr. Combs at his home, it would be in the evening, and he and Mr. Combs would disappear for hours in Mr. Combs' bedroom. Lil Rod also claimed that Lucien aided, abetted, and induced Sean Combs' ex venture and served as one of the co-conspirators who provided vast sums of cash, which made Diddy's criminal venture possible. But here's the plot twist. Back in May 2024, it was revealed that Lucien Grange and Universal Music Group were officially removed from Lil Rod's lawsuit. This wasn't all that surprising though, considering Lucien is one of the most powerful figures in the music industry right now. His legal team clearly wasn't about to let him go down without a fight, making sure to get him out of that mess. With his influence and resources, it was almost a given that he'd be protected from the allegations. Still, the fact that the lawsuit got dismissed didn't do much to clear the air. It only added more layers to the already messy drama surrounding UMG and the music industry's undercurrents. Just when Lucien and UMG thought they had dodged a bullet with Lil Rod's lawsuit, things took a turn. Kendrick's beef with Drake was intensifying, and Kendrick started hinting that he might dig even deeper into the industry's dirty laundry, potentially exposing more secrets. You know, UMG had to be paying close attention. After all, the last thing Lucien Grange wanted was to get dragged into a mess with Drake and OVO, especially after just narrowly escaping the drama surrounding Diddy's case. But with Drake stirring the pot again with his legal petitions against UMG, people are starting to wonder if he's playing with fire. Now, UMG had already given Drake a warning before he went ahead and filed those petitions accusing them of payola. Think back to August when Drake dropped a whole 100 gigabytes of content, including unreleased tracks. Universal wasn't about to let that slide. They wasted no time and hit him with a copyright strike so quickly that 3 of those new songs were yanked from his official site almost immediately. It wasn't just a slap on the wrist, it was a direct message. Drake didn't stay silent though. He called UMG out on his Finsta, posting a screenshot of their takedown notice for the world to see. Instead of backing off, Drake seems to have doubled down, and now he's neck deep in drama with UMG. Fans are already theorizing about how this could all blow up in his face. Some are even saying that UMG might turn the tables on him by exposing those shady rumors that have been tied to him and OVO. You remember Kendrick's lines on Meet the Grams, right? When he called out the weird behavior in the industry, including how some artists use their homes to streamline victims, leak videos to push agendas, and even hinted that Drake's mansion might get raided soon, just like Diddy's? Then Kendrick didn't stop there. He went even harder on Not Like Us, directly calling OVO certified PDF files. Drake didn't stay silent for long though. On The Heart, Part 6, he fired back, saying he's too famous to be a PD file because if that were true, he'd already be locked up. But let's be real, was that even a solid response? Rich and famous PD files often manage to escape justice for years, so Drake's defense didn't really add up. It almost felt like he was trying to downplay the accusations instead of addressing them head on, and it left a lot of people scratching their heads. What made things even weirder was that Drake randomly name-dropped Millie Bobby Brown on the same track. Now, you probably remember all those rumors surrounding Drake's questionable friendship with Millie, especially considering she was just 13 when they first met.
I love him. I met him in Australia, and he's honestly so fantastic and a great friend and a great role model. You know, we just texted each other the other day, and he was like, "I miss you so much." I was like, "I miss you more." He's coming to Atlanta, so I'm definitely gonna go and see him. I'm so excited. Yeah.
You and Drake? That's awesome. That's awesome.
What advice does he give you? Like, what does he say?
About boys. He helps me.
What?
Yeah. He's great. He's wonderful. I love him.
What's his advice with boys?
You know, that stays in the text messages.
Here's the thing. Kendrick never mentioned Millie in any of his diss tracks, nor did he allude to the rumors about her and Drake, so it was pretty odd that Drake decided to bring her up in his response to Kendrick. It almost felt like an unnecessary distraction from the real issues at hand. And what's even stranger is that Drake seemed more focused on mentoring Millie Bobby Brown, giving her dating advice, but he wasn't interested in mentoring the boys from Stranger Things. Why would a grown man, especially someone who started his career in entertainment as an actor, want to have that kind of relationship with a young girl he's not related to? It would make a lot more sense for Drake to take a mentorship role with one of the young male actors from the show. But no. His attention was solely on Millie, and that raised a lot of red flags for people. Drake stayed quiet about his relationship with Millie for years, but in 2023, on his album For All the Dogs, he finally addressed the backlash. However, instead of explaining why he was texting and hanging out with her, he flipped the script entirely and called fans weirdos for even bringing it up. Lucian Grange might have managed to escape Lil Rod's lawsuit and buried his longtime friendship with Diddy in the process. But now Drake has dragged him right back into the spotlight, and in the worst possible way. Let's just say Lucian is not happy about this. Sources close to both Lucian and UMG are saying Drake has no idea what kind of storm he's stirred up. UMG isn't just disappointed, they're furious that Drake, of all people, would turn on them after everything they've done for him. It's important to remember, UMG isn't just any label. It's the biggest record label in the world, and messing with them is no small thing. See, not only is Drake's legal action bad PR for the label, but UMG has treated him like royalty for years. They gave him one of the most lucrative deals in music history, pushed his career to astronomical heights, and provided him with perks that other artists could only dream of. But here's where it gets even messier. Some insiders are alleging that UMG used some underhanded tactics to push Drake's music on streaming platforms. Tactics that Drake is now accusing UMG of using to boost Kendrick's diss track, Not Like Us. If those allegations turn out to be true, it could mean serious trouble for both Drake and UMG, as the tables could turn in a way they never saw coming. Now, you'd think that Drake would learn a lesson or two from that situation, but it looks like he didn't learn a thing. There are reports that not only is he planning another diss track against Kendrick, but he's also planning to sue the Grammys. Chilly, it's like he doesn't learn. At this point, everyone already knows that Kendrick is not the one to get into a rap beef with, but it looks like Drake did not get that memo. Plus, him taking on the Grammys and UMG at the same time is going to be interesting to see how it plays out. There are reports of him being blacklisted as a result of his actions, and Chilly, it does not look good for him at all. But in the meantime, I want to know how y'all feel about Drake fighting for his life like this. So drop your thoughts in the comments and then check out this next video.